Like we said, the biggest bird has landed. Wizkid has blessed us with his greatness in more love, less ego.
I just feel
And
like you're about to say something crazy.
no,
after
no.
this. Nah, go right ahead. Go
It's
right
not
ahead.
fun if I
Do
say
you,
something crazy every time. It's actually not fun. But me, I'm a big Wizkid fan. You know, we're down with FC and all of that. So, like, I'm still waiting on my interview, on the Waves interview with Wizkid one day soon. Anyway, but like, being honest, like, I've not listened. I've been passively giving the album, you know.
That's what every music person is saying. Now. Everybody feels like everybody's trying to. They don't want to
there's
judge.
so much hype. That's the truth. Like, if
fair.
you actually want to listen to it for you to enjoy it, like, you have to take your time because there's so much hype. Everybody has been waiting for it for years. Everybody has been speculating, analyzing, dissecting, projecting. And now that it's here, everybody is in the moment. So if you want to have your own moment, I think you should wait. But from what I'm hearing...
What are you hearing?
I saw something, I think I read AOT's review and he's like, there's a lot of affluence in this. Wizkid is like unapologetically flexing. And I agree. He sounds so comfortable. Wizkid sounds like this is not even his moment. Wizkid just sounds like he's having fun on an album, and I'm still going to give it a listen. Hot thing, you know, Arya Star. I love Arya Star, but this was not her best feature.
It wasn't.
Even when
everybody's like, it's known, like Wizkid ate that up, and that was surprising because, you know, from the president that Made in Lagos said, with his features and like the quality, the synergy, the dynamic it was mostly Wizkid. Like when with the Nigerian features, it was Wizkid and, you know, artists that like not essentially, they're not his contemporaries. These are artists that like are in the new age, while Wizkid has been around for a decade and more. And these artists are artists that have max been around for like 4 years.
Like who?
Tems.
Tems 4 years.
I said max 4 years. I did say max. Well, okay. Give or take. Tems, Teiwa has been around for like since I was in. Sorry, yeah. So Teiwa is definitely longer than 5.
But do you see Tems as a new artist? Honestly, not forget like history. Honestly, is she a new artist?
I think you have to count from like when they hit the limelight in that sense. Like, you know, when was like because
so when is it? Is it Mr. Rebel or Try Me?
I think it has to be Try Me. Mr. Rebel was not that big.
Okay. Fair enough.
Some people know Try Me did not reach some places. That's why Nigerians, some people still try to bring Tems back and say she doesn't have any hits in Nigeria or any of that, but she's past that. She's transcended, you know, having like a local hit and what have you. But anyway, the precedent that Wizkid set with those type of features, you know, the features that had Nigerian artists, it was like younger artists, younger acts, and we saw Wizkid's acting the role or playing the role of like Godfather type. So he just pretty much let them do their thing. They even in a way set the tone for the feature, and then Wizkid comes in and, you know, takes over, and it was a really good blend, really smooth blend. But you felt like Wizkid, you know, actually let them, you know, have fun, do their thing essentially. But with the Arya one, it didn't feel like that, and maybe because we had like a lot of expectations because first of all, the Made in Lagos president that we saw already, and then also because it's Arya Star, we know that, you know, Arya Star will like she'll just go Dracarys and like burn things up. But in this case, it felt like the tables were switched. I know Arya did drop like the chorus and everything. The chorus did work, right? But Wizkid had more versatility. Wizkid had more flows. And he just essentially, in the end, he ate out. Ultimately, rather, he ate out.
So, in an interview with Cool FM, Arya Star said that is the shortest studio session she's had in her life. And someone on YouTube Shorts commented that they should have spent more time in the studio.
I think at the same time, you seem to forget that Wizkid clearly is a perfectionist, because he says that he creates albums and then he decides.
Perfectionist, why? Wizkid strikes me as trying to be effortless.
Yes, but you think it's easy to be effortless. Like what we see on the outside that looks like effortless fashion, effortless makeup is a lot of fashion, it's a lot of decisions, it's a lot of makeup. What have you? Whatever looks effortless took a lot for it to look that way. So all of that, you know, the sang-froidness, the very blasé, this thing, what have you, that Wizkid we can see on the outside. There's a lot that's been put into work in the foundation to make it look like that. Like Wizkid said it, that he works with albums and then he creates like entire albums, he scraps it and everything. And for me, I had a conversation with my best friend, and once again, because in a way, More Love Less Ego sounds like he worked with the framework of Made in Lagos, but Made in Lagos also worked with the framework that he had on Soundman Volume 1 and Sounds from the Other Side. So you can see like this is somebody that is working to constantly tweak something. I think that actually, you know, it points at perfectionism.
Tweak what though? Why is he tweaking?
The sound.
Why is he tweaking? Isn't
the
it supposed?
feel.
Isn't Made in Lagos the? I don't see this as an extension per se of Made in Lagos. From what I've heard, it sounds like more like Wizkid is like I keep saying comfortable, but there's just like a self-assuredness that comes less from him trying to find something.
Now I actually tackle you on that self-assuredness because I don't think this album,
just briefly, I don't think he was trying to find anything here.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he was still working with the same templates, but this time around he actually let himself explore different pockets. Frames, for instance, has Wizkid applying himself, like the vocal application that Wizkid used on Frames. Wizkid hasn't sang like that. What Wizkid was singing.
Yeah, but that's more him finally being like, this is me. And less like over the years. I don't think the Wizkid of Soundman was how do I frame this? I don't think the two artists would recognize each other. Let me put it that way. No, it's
definitely not that far apart. And you know, like when I
say recognize, it's like it's like he's been striving to find this person, and then on this album he is him. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
So I think I get you, but like to be sure that I do, I think what you're trying to say is that I think he found himself perfectly on Made in Lagos. Mm-hmm. And now this is an extension, but it is not a very smooth extension of what he found on Made in Lagos, because in a way it feels trite to present the same face twice as an artist. So Wizkid in this phase, Wizkid was trying to, you know, extend who he found, you know, the version of himself that he found on Made in Lagos, mm-hmm. in More Love Less Ego. Mm-hmm. And in this essence, I think he was also trying to explore a different version of himself. It's like, I've been around for 12 years. Mm-hmm. I've done this, I've done that. I've given them jams. And now I'm in these pockets where I'm exploring mid-tempo songs, and I'm making it a thing for like the Afrobeat scene even. Because I mean,
is he making it a thing? I feel like
look at how well Made in Lagos did.
I want us and I'm sorry, I'm jumping, but so your verdict, I feel like it's a bit too soon for us to give a definitive review on, at least for me, definitive review on.
I mean, I just think it's very interesting. It seems like there has been like very polarizing opinions, and it also seems like people are scared to say, oh, I love it, I think it's really good, and people are also scared to just shit on it because we see what he did with Made in Lagos, and they were naysayers at the beginning of Made in Lagos. I loved Made in Lagos from the jump. I thought it was really good. I thought it was like, the perfect. I thought it was like his perfection of what he had on Sounds from the Other Side, because Sounds from the Other Side had this unfinished blend. The trumpets, there was just a way that it felt jarring, and we didn't know then when it was new. But for some reason, Sounds from the Other Side, if you look at it, it didn't stick, right? But the scene wasn't as hot then, we weren't as global then, so like he was able to get away with it. Nobody dragged him that much. But at that period, it somehow looked like Wizkid was losing his sauce. And then to come back with Made in Lagos was very sweet, well done. The cohesion, everything, like it was sweet, perfect. Then, so I think for me, people are scared now to just go and just talk anyhow that, what did Wizkid do here, what have you. But I don't
I think he's earned that.
I don't think More Love, Less Ego is anything that bad.
No, I think he's earned people being like, let's give this time.
Because there's clearly good songs, but what people are not trying to crunch the arguments to now is, where are the hits? Where are the hits? Where are the hits?
It just dropped. But what I'm saying with this thing is that there's nothing wrong if you feel like the album is whack. Please say so.
Oh,
like, it's
I also
okay to
wanted
change your
to
mind.
say sorry
But
about
really quickly, like the features as well. Speaking of them, Naira Marley and all.
I wanted to say about the Aria thing is that we should probably not judge it based on like, you know, the precedents we have for Made in Lagos and like who we know Arya Star as, because if Arya Star said that was the shortest studio version, that means clearly when she dropped that verse, they thought your work here is done, we like it. And to be honest, it's not a bad chorus. It's actually
Her feature on CK's album is much better. That's what I'm judging it on.
It feels like they just gave her like one verse or like just the chorus. She didn't have a lot. So like, this is what they wanted. So is that up to us?
And we are allowed to say that this is not her best feature.
Yeah, it isn't, but I feel like at the same time, it still did the work.
Like, this is fucking Wizkid. He's not just going to fill in a blank space. And this is fucking like an
But
album,
Wizkid
like
actually did fill the blanks in like in that essence. If you look at the way it was like constructed.
Essence is a fill in the blank song.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying is I'm talking about the future. Like, you know, Aria did the chorus.
But it's not good. It's not her best effort. It's not a sweet song. It's not the sweetest song on this album.
So Essence wasn't the sweetest song on this album or on Made in Lagos too now.
What do you mean Essence wasn't the sweetest? If Essence wasn't the sweetest song on the album, it wouldn't be the hitter. Is
that how this thing
It's
work?
at least top 3 sweetest song on that album. At least. It might not be your favorite, but you can't deny that it's a good song.
It's a good song. You're saying Two Sugar is not a good song?
I am saying this is not Arya Star's best effort.
But is it a bad song?
There are no bad songs. Shout out to Kid. Should I be
Is it a mid song? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, everything has to be mid, or it's just not her best
No, you
song.
just sound like you have like, man, I keep saying that. I feel like
to give it a rating, it's like 6.5 maybe. And like, if it was an eagerly anticipated like feature, people were waiting for this. So like, I feel like it could have been better. Maybe
and they should have gotten her to record her verse or something.
Someone said it in our comment section. I didn't say that. I'm just telling you what the people are saying. Someone said they should have spent a bit more time in the studio. I don't think that. And, you know, that's that.
But
Naira Marley feature, though, a lot of people are impressed with that feature.
I'm actually very impressed with the feature. I'm happy for Naira. He found himself on that feature.
Wow, why are we saying this like Naira Marley was lost?
He was. God's time is the best Rushu.
Naira Marley, I fucks with you except for the Boba thing, which you still need to explain, but I do not know what she's talking about.
Bruh, I'm happy for Naira Marley because like that album he dropped, he was in the wild, he was lost.
Not
in
the
the
best
woods.
Skepta feature either.
But that Agaracha must come back is a proper line.
Yes, it is, but not the best Skepta feature.
You
but
know,
it's
you know
inevitable.
what?
You cannot be.
That's
you
the
can't be
thing.
that
Like,
insane all the
okay,
time.
for Aria, I guess that, you know, the what is that word? Scrutiny is still very high because she's still, you know, she's still pretty much new.
People
so,
want to hate on Ira, but
not necessarily. No, I don't think he's hates, but she just
People
there's
hate on her.
expectations from her are very high because, you know, of like,
why are expectations so high?
because I think it's a sort of for whom much is given, much is expected type thing. She has a lot of love. You know, Aria also has like a lot of confidence
Which
and
she earned
star
now.
power. Yeah, she has a lot of confidence and star power.
Also, is there something with the color purple? Me, I like color purple, but
Every artist now, every artist and
everybody
their
has suddenly
grandma seems to,
understood,
yeah.
like, oh, balance, blue and red, purple. But yeah,
What would you rank the album overall from like what the few listens you've had for
Not
now?
yet.
You don't want us to come back and revisit it.
I will,
See what I'm
we will
talking
now,
about. Niggas be
definitely.
too
We'll
pussy
talk
like
about
about
it
it.
next week. We'll talk about it.
For
in our
me,
best
I've
best
listened
album.
like 4 times, and from what I actually give you like a 7.
Wow, okay, that's a bit low, but I'm not the hater in the room this time.
Now wow, 7 over
Yeah.
10 a bad score now. Abi.
Yes, now for Wizkid is a bad score.
Yeah.
Shout out FC, you know, gang, mob shit.